After a long run, it's extremely hard to resist the urge to eat everything in sight. Much like how it's hard to resist the pull of a toxic relationship. Just like a long or hard run can leave you exhausted and drained, the same is true for an unhealthy relationship. And just as a post-run snack can provide a much-needed energy boost, a toxic partner can provide a temporary rush of excitement and validation. Find out how to break the run a lot and eat everything in sight mentality and more on this episode of Trees and DLake.
What is up? Welcome to Trees and DLake, an audio and video content series by Mike Trees and me, Daren DLake Runs. Here's Mike Trees, a 50-year plus pro runner and triathlete, on how exactly we want to help you.
The aim of this podcast is to give, in a light-hearted, amusing and entertaining way, hints and tips to help you all run better and enjoy your sporting life more. So let's see how we can go with that.
What about me? Well, I've been running and doing this endurance sport thing for like 26 years now. I've run a sub 3-hour marathon and I've done an Ironman triathlon in 10 hours. Language warning, on a few rare occasions, we sometimes use some bad words to get our point across. Apologies for that. And last point, we do all of that in a super short, sharp, and concise way because
ain't nobody got time for that.
How to get out of the eat everything in sight mindset. And that's probably the thing that runners that are training either hard or long or both get into. I myself have done that. How can you stop that?
If I knew the answer, you and I would be very rich. The reason that it keeps coming up is it's so difficult to do. And no one has one solution. The body often mistakes hunger and thirst. So when I finish a run, I make sure that I drink lots of water after I have my run, so that I know that it's not thirst that I'm mixing with hunger. Protein fills me up the best. A protein shake, I find that once that hits the stomach, it satiates me for longer. And then the other thing is, I think it's keeping a busy schedule as well, so that you're not focusing on food. And unfortunately, when you start running, your metabolism goes up. You tend to want to eat more than you actually burn up in the run. That is a fact of life.
How to get out of the eat everything in sight mindset. There is a thin line between underfueling and overfueling, especially when it's around your race prep and training. When you're closer to your races, you want to be slightly overfueling, but I'd say most of the majority of the time, you want to be exactly where you need to be or slightly under. This is what works for me. If you're not fueling yourself, you're going to underperform. So, but you also don't want to, it's really, really, really hard to get it. So I found that counting calories for 3 days, if you can do a week, do it, but for 3 days, especially when you're training hard. And then also I wait 20 minutes after I eat what I'm supposed to eat, and I just wait, because sometimes you just keep eating and what does it take, 20 minutes for your brain and your stomach to communicate to each other? I don't know if that's BS. And then for the last thing is eat whole foods as much as you can and save the processed foods for hard training sessions and races.
So a good tip is to put your food on the plate, your normal sort portion size, take a third off, and then wait half an hour after you finish. If you're still hungry, then you're hungry. If you're not hungry, well, eat it the next morning.